Okay, once again, for you to just coming in, welcome to the PayPal session here for the Pay Later. My name is Mulyadi. I'm from Indonesia. I will be the moderator this morning or evening, wherever you are. We're going to start the session in 1 minute. We're just waiting people to coming in now. A couple reminder, there's a Q&A tab for you to type in your questions for the speakers later. As well, there's the polls for you to participate with. Some questions from the speakers. All right. I think we can start. Okay, this morning we have three wonderful speakers. I have Chris Lynch as a global consumer credit manager for channel partner marketplaces, inside sales, and small medium business from PayPal. And also we have Lokesh Mandava as a senior product manager from PayPal, and also Robert Taylor as a technical account manager from PayPal. All right, Chris, I'll give you the stage.
Okay, thank you so much. And hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to this session where we're going to be really talking about how to drive sales with PayPal Pay Later, which is now available on Magento 2. So we're excited to talk about this today. Couple things to talk about here as before we get into the demos and to the deep dive. We want to thank you guys. We partnered together. Magento and PayPal have been together since 2008. And PayPal is now a proud sponsor of the Magento Association. So we're very glad to be here and be part of this conference, and also to work with you on a deeper level as we grow into this new style and way of paying for our consumer goods. But more than 50,000 joint merchants have used our technologies over the years. So today we're here to talk about the functionality for how Pay Later will work with the M2 merchants. And to go a little bit deeper with that, with the new consumer behaviors and things that are going on in the world and in the technologies, these new technologies are allowing us to change our daily spending, because consumers right now really are looking for a good way to make their purchases and to expand that. And people are very conscious in the way of how they spend and what their spending habits are, and canceling very non-essential things, or non-essential purchases. But the key to that is to trust, very good brands like ours, Magento and PayPal, because that gives consumers a confidence in how they use their technologies for their day-to-day commerce situations. Here in slide 3, what we've noticed here is that consumers that have paid. Now, what they want to do is spread the cost of those purchases that they make today over time. So as you can see here, PayPal, we really are the most trusted brand out there with buy now, pay later payments. And 64% of consumers are more likely to make their purchases at a retailer that offers payment options. And what we found out is that if PayPal is not available, we found that many of those consumers abandon the purchase. So what we're trying to do is to generate that excitement around PayPal, our excitement around consumers transacting, and how we move to the next level from that perspective. So back in Q4 of 2020, we launched Pay in 4 across 3 key markets, which mainly would be the US, the UK, and France. And if you look here to the right, we did see some significant numbers that when Pay in 4s leveraged, we noticed that volumes went up, the unique style of customers went up, the unique merchants went up, and those that had upstream presentment really made a difference in how Pay Later generated sales and generated enthusiasm around consumers in leveraging this new Pay Later type feature. So we are excited to know that Q4 in 2020 and these launches gave us what we need. But as we move forward now in 2021, we'll see that there's going to be even more advances and more customers using it as it goes across the country or goes across the world. So to put this into kind of a context here, we've really converted many browsers into buyers. Many people have started to, when they're looking for things, going back to the other comment where we've had individuals who are, very conscious about what they're spending. When they see our brand and they see that buy now, pay later is available, we've converted them into buyers. And the other thing that's really important to understand is that, we've seen an increased average order value as much as 2 times versus our standard PayPal AOVs that have been around. And 350 million consumers trust the PayPal brand and leveraging that across that piece. But the other thing that's been interesting too, as you break that segment down, is that millennials and Gen Z and even a Gen Xer like myself, we all trust that when PayPal is available and we see that there's flexibility in the way that we pay, that we can come to a conclusion that there's going to be more transactions heading in that direction. And also we've noticed that 25% of our user base is between 18 and 30-year-olds. So we see that there's a loyalty there, but also growing as this pay later feature climbs out into the markets. So now I think what we should do is get into a product demonstration. Here's a slide that actually shows you what it looks like, but I'm going to turn it over to Lokesh Mandava, who's going to give us a product demo around pay later and how it works, and we'll go from there. So Lokesh, I'll turn this over to you now to do the product demo.
Chris, good morning, good evening, everyone. So we're going to take a quick look at the product demo. I'm going to do just the US Pay in 4 product demo. So there are 2 pieces when we talk about pay later. The first one is upstream messaging, or what we call as banners or messaging that shows people or consumers that they have installment products with PayPal to use. So the very first thing that you would see is let's say this is a product page. You'll see this message here, paying for interest-free payments of $30 with PayPal Loanmo, right? So this is called upstream messaging, and that is simple. If you use our SDK, it's part of that bundle. You don't have to do anything. As long as you pass us the correct product amount, we will be able to calculate it, and we will be able to say how many payments will be applicable for that. So this is how our upstream messaging looks like. It's very clean. It's very, very easy to read, very out there. Users can see it when they're trying to make a purchase, and they can actually see that it's not $120, it's only $30 per payment. And maybe they'll go buy something that's worth $250 because they only have to make $60 upfront or $62 upfront, right? So that's the goal behind this messaging. Now, the second part of that is the actual product itself, which is available within our PayPal wallet. So I'm going to show you that right now. So I'm going to add this to the cart, right? I'm going to say view shopping cart. So you'll see this classic 2 buttons. So PayPal is our regular PayPal checkout wallet. If you click on it, it'll take you to your wallet. It'll show you all funding instruments that are available in the wallet, and you can choose to use a regular wallet. Or you can always say, okay, here, I don't want to use regular PayPal. I want to use Pay Later, which is basically our umbrella of credit offerings. So there is Pay in 4 and then PayPal Credit in some markets. As you see, before the product price was $120. Now, once the tax was updated, you'll see the total product is $131.10. And the payment right now is updated to $32.77 versus $30 before. So it changes dynamically once you add new products, or if there are taxes on shipping that gets added before you check out with PayPal. So I'm going to choose Pay Later here. It will take you to the same screen where you log in with your PayPal credentials. And this is a brand new experience. You'll see that you'll land in this Pay Later tab, right? And you'll see these 2 products. You'll have our Pay in 4 product, which is what we're demoing today. And then you'll also have our PayPal Credit product, which is much more of a credit line and not your regular unregulated credit line like Pay in 4. Pay in 4 is always per transaction. What that means is, let's say you complete a transaction today, you go back to the merchant website, you want to make another purchase, you have to apply for Pay in 4 again. It's not that you get to use it every single. It's not you get to apply once and then use it for all your transactions. Every time you have to be able to apply for Pay in 4. Now, let's say you clicked on Pay Now or our PayPal button, you would have landed in this page or this tab, which show you your debit cards or credit cards or your bank accounts, whatever were added. You can always, if you land on Pay Now for some reason, or if you click on PayPal and land here, you can always click the Pay Later button and use. So I'm going to go ahead and use Pay in 4. So this is how the screen looks like. Like if you choose Pay in 4, this is what's due today. This is what's due in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. The dates will get updated based on when you're making the purchase. There are, of course, no sign-up fees, and there's no interest-free, and then they're all automatic payments to PayPal. The very good thing about this is the 131.10 is immediately credited to the merchant when they capture, and then PayPal goes and charges the customer on an installment basis. So merchants are taking zero risk at this point. All the risk is PayPal owned, and PayPal goes and collects payments based on installments with these users. I'm going to complete the rest of the flow. So once the user chooses Pay in 4, they'll continue. They'll confirm their basic information, right? They're basically applying for a Pay in 4 loan at this point. And once they're approved, you'll say, okay, choose a card for automatic payments for Pay in 4. This is the card where your automatic payments, your installments to PayPal are going to go. Yes, you're going to apply for a Pay in 4 loan. Now, where do we get the funds from? From the user. So they're choosing either a debit card or a credit card in US. It depends on different markets. We only have debit cards in UK. In other markets, we're launching banks sometime this year. So when we launch banks, you will see that banks will also be available. But right now, it's only debit and credit cards. So I'm going to choose this card that is available in the wallet. I'll say agree and continue. This is the very final screen. It's going to show you have been approved for Pay in 4. It'll tell you Pay in 4. This is how much you're paying today. Which card are you using to use to pay? This is the total, and it's 4 payments of $32.77. And that's pretty much it. At this point, you're sent back to the merchant site, and then your purchase is complete. So it's as simple as that. It's built into a regular PayPal checkout. You don't have to do anything. It's a consumer product. It's in the wallet. Everything is available for consumers. And then it's very simple. There are 2 or 3 extra screens that the user has to go through, but it's frictionless. You saw how easy it was to go from applying for Pay in 4 loan to the final screen, and that is it. Once you do this, let's say your consumer comes back to the site and they want to purchase again, or they want to look at new products, they can always use this PayPal Pay in 4 loans again. Right. So that is what I have from a demo perspective. I'm going to turn it over to Robert here, who's going to demo or how to get this working on Magento as well. Robert?
Thank you very much. All right, and let me pull up the video. 1 second. All right, well, thank you. I am Rob Thayer, Technical Account Manager at PayPal. I'd like to show you how to enable the Pay Later settings within the Braintree settings in Magento 2.3. Once you have the module installed, follow these steps. We'll go to Stores and Configuration. Scroll down to Sales, choose Payment Methods. Here, you'll want to configure the Braintree module. Once you have this in the Braintree configuration, it's time to set up Pay Later. You'll need to have or create a Braintree account with a connected PayPal account to offer Pay Later. Once enabled, the Pay Later button and messaging will appear to buyers. So here's how we configure. You have to enable PayPal through Braintree, and then there'll be a section to enable PayPal Pay Later through Braintree. Further down in the PayPal through Braintree section, you can skip to the bottom and customize how the buttons and banners look on the mini cart page, checkout page, and the product page. So you can turn them on in whatever locations you would like, save the configuration. And now let's take a look at the different locations and what it would look like. So here we've got a tennis racket we'll take a look at. And we'll see the pay later button shows up, as well as the pay in for messaging, indicating that it's a pay in for payments of $30. If you update the quantity or change the options, the banner will dynamically change to show the different amounts. So in the cart page, here's what it looks like. Well, this is the mini cart. We'll see the same banner information there. And in the checkout, we have to fill out all of our information, my lovely tester.com email address. And Mr. Tester. Oh, I get free shipping. That's nice. All right, selecting PayPal here. We'll see the pay later button, and the messaging shows up there as well. All right. And I will turn it back over to Chris.
To Rob. So let me switch my screen back. So these are the key geographies that we had mentioned in the earlier part of the presentation, where we're in the United States, UK, and France. Coming later this year, Germany and Australia will be kicking in, as well as if you look here at this piece, there are going to be some enhancements to Pay in 4 as we go through them throughout the rest of this year. So stay tuned for more of that information. It's really going to be cool as we expand this, as we've seen more information pop in, as we're going to give that out to you all as we launch it. So please stay tuned for that. The other piece of this is just in 3 months of launching, we've seen a boost in loyalty, which is very important. Revenues have grown, and we have attracted new shoppers. So as you can see, Pay in 4 really gives a lot out there to grow our relationship together. It grows our business together with what consumers are transacting and buying. And we're attracting all kinds of new customers because, again, I've heard this by word of mouth where I've talked to some of our clients and our customers. They say when they see that PayPal or Pay in 4 is available, they will transact their dollars. So that's very refreshing to understand and know that that's coming and that people are excited about it, and it's passed through our marketing efforts and our word of mouth and how those interact with our consumers and our buying situations today. So that's very good on this. And just to kind of wrap things up, as you can see, Pay Later offers interest-free installment offers. We're included in the Braintree extension in the Magento Marketplace. There's instant fee settlement and instant refunds. So the buyer and the seller protection are eligible on purchases. And again, we can increase your conversion rates and revenues, customer loyalty, and have value to that, access new customers, and really decrease the cost of customer retention and acquisition, because that's saving us all money that way. So we want to thank you for that, for this demonstration and everything. Rob, did you want to talk about this last piece of information with Magento 2 Commerce?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank
so Pay Later is currently available for Magento 3 merchants using the Braintree extension that is available on the Magento Marketplace, developed by our friends at Gene Commerce. Merchants in the US today can utilize Pay Later using this module. Very soon, we're submitting it today. Merchants in the UK, France, and Germany will have the Pay Later options available through the 2.3 Gene Commerce extension as well. When Magento releases version 2.4.3 later this summer, and I see a lot of you here are on Magento 2.4, so you'll be interested in this, Pay Later will be built into the core functionality in both Braintree and the PayPal Express checkout payment settings. So we are greatly expanding the availability in the next version of Magento.
Awesome. And that ends our slideshow from that perspective. So guess we have a few minutes to take a couple questions? There's Melody. Yeah.
It's all has been answered by
You put your mic down.
Yep.
There you
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Seems like Robert has been up to speed answering all the questions on the Q&A.
Yeah.
Oh, good. There you go.
As well as Locust. All right. Probably just wait a couple more seconds, see if there's more questions there.
Yeah.
Question that I want to clarify. So I know, Tyler, you asked, will the max of 600 change? It doesn't, but in the wallet, you have two options. You have PayPal Credit as well. So that's going to be an interesting appeal for users who don't want to use a Pay in 4, and it's a higher price point. They can always use your 6-month no interest offer for higher price points, which is much more appealing because as the price goes up, your installment will also go up. And also, we're launching our long-term installments later this year, probably towards the end of the year, which will have higher price points and which will have higher terms as well. There'll be 3 months, 6 months, 18 months, 24 months, 9 months. So there'll be different products that the users can pick and choose how to pay and which price they have to pay for. And the price range changes for the months as well. So yes, right now it's 600 at the max, but there are other options within the wallet, especially for US consumers today, that they can use if they don't qualify for Pay in 4 purchases.
Awesome.
All right. That's great. Well, thank you, gents. I think that's all the question and answer from the audience. I mean, great session. I think you guys also have a booth in the expo session on the expo site. So if you guys want to visit them, I mean, don't forget, you feel free. You can on the left-hand side, you can see an icon called Expo. You can go there and visit the PayPal booth from there for more information and questions. All right. Have fun for the rest of the day. We have a networking speed dating style, so feel free to try it out. Otherwise, have a good day and a good evening, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.